I think the great part of doing an overview presentation on Qt offering for mobile is to be put on the last session. It's like, well, I think you pretty much have experienced a lot of these things already during these dev days. So how many of you are software developers, like writing Qt code yourself? All right, cool. How many are more like wearing a suit in a trade show? People like I am. No? Yeah, a bit. Okay. So noticed an interesting expectation towards my talk. This is the Qt in use track. However, in the printed version, I was put into like in depth or something super advanced. So maybe this is in depth Qt in use. I don't know. Anyway, my name is Tuukka Ahoniemi. I work with the product marketing of Qt. My background is as a Qt trainer, officially certified Qt trainer. That's what I use. And I also worked 2 years in our US sales office as a sales engineer, so I worked a lot with individual companies and customers trying to fit Qt into their portfolio of technologies, their devices, and creating applications with it. And even though already back then when I was in US we had the first ports of Qt for different mobile platforms available, I have to say that the majority of enterprise usage of Qt was still heavily based on, and still today is heavily based on desktop, and also to some extent more and more on embedded. So there was really no like big urge for I wanna make an app, an enterprise app in the Google Play. So that's kind of a quite separate thing. However, what we're gonna talk today is actually kind of we'd mostly focus on the second part here, the mobile in bigger picture. That what do the mobile platforms of Qt enable for enterprises, either on desktop side, so talking about enterprise mobility. I worked with customers nowadays in Finland that are using Qt to make native clients to their enterprise software, or extending their existing Qt desktop applications with mobile. Then on embedded side, we'll be talking quite much about Internet of Things. That's a buzzword, but it's my favorite buzzword at the moment. Working a lot with embedded customers, but I want to go through like what Internet of Things is from the perspective of creating software, and cross-platform software is quite heavily, of course, in the equation. So we'll be looking at the Qt developer offering in perspective from the perspective of creating cloud-connected embedded devices, and what sort of things do we offer, and what sort of things do you kind of need to take more into care when you're doing embedded devices and mobile applications for them and connecting everything. This is also related to our cloud services offering, so we'll also be talking about our cloud offering and what sort of back-end solutions are we trying to introduce to Qt developers. Finally, I'll start with just a general status of Qt on different mobile platforms. We'll talk a bit about also on roadmap items, how is the integration done, so there's a bit of that. And then at the end, I'll actually walk you through quite quickly on how do you then get started. Like, let's say you're a desktop developer or embedded developer. How do you then, if you want to do something for Android, it's rather easy, but I'll anyway go through the steps, as well as tell you how to then deploy applications to, for instance, Google Play or Windows Store or App Store. Okay, so the story of Qt on mobile is not a new one. Already back then in the Trolltech era, before 2008, Trolltech was seeing a lot of interest in expanding Qt to mobile. They created a kind of an embedded stack or solution called Qtopia. Has someone here actually worked with Qtopia? Oh, Nils, slightly. But anyway, that was kind of that was a good direction to indicate that you can actually do whole mobile devices with Qt, that Qt is powerful enough not just for the application layer but also on things below. And I guess that was one of like a big thing to show for Nokia, that's why they got interested in Qt in general. And then Windows Mobile was already supported at the Trolltech era. In 2008, Nokia acquired Qt as a solution to for the apps problem. That Nokia had superior hardware, and especially Finnish engineers loved Nokia phones, but the rest of the world had somehow figured out that you actually would need some content to run on the hardware, and apps were needed, and Symbian and S60 were not the kind of software tools to create apps. I mean, yeah, Symbian is a great operating system for low battery consumption devices, but it's not for programmers. So Nokia kind of solved this issue by acquiring Qt, which is fun to program, which is on high level, but still can integrate into the C++ parts of Symbian. And that was kind of a Nokia's intention to bring a powerful development toolkit for their app ecosystem. And then, of course, they had their own piece of cross-platform story with Symbian, different versions, and Migo and Maimo. But, you know, you can probably figure out that here's like some date in February, a few years ago, and they changed their strategy, and for a while it seemed like there was no use for Qt on different mobile platforms. DGA was already running the Qt commercial side and dealing with embedded and enterprise desktop customers, but we had really no place in mobile until we officially acquired Qt from Nokia. And after that, it's been quite a ride with mobile platforms. So Android, iOS, and Windows Phone / WinRT are officially supported ones. Selfies OS, BlackBerry 10, Ubuntu Touch, Nokia X, Tizen, and more. So the opportunities around using Qt for mobile platforms have really expanded in the past 2 years. Let's start with Android. Android port was already out, the first version in 5.1, so it's not a new thing really. But I still quite often get questions, and I think there was even a question at the keynote that how ready are these? Are there apps in Google Play? Yes, there are. There are a lot of apps. We have a lot of enterprise apps. We have a lot of consumer apps, and we make apps ourselves with Qt on Android too. So the port works. We've been introducing new APIs, like in the initial versions we didn't have Bluetooth, we didn't have positioning, but they are now included as well. I'll show you a bit of roadmap what's coming for Android too, but also including the tools integration. I think the Android port works really nicely, and the iOS isn't really that far away either. This was also fully supported in 5.2, so it was nearly 2 years ago since it got its first full support, and it's fully App Store compliant. We've done a lot of changes internally to Qt, to the Qt Quick engine to enable compliance with the App Store. The original issue was that the V8, the Google JavaScript engine, couldn't really be used for App Store because of cheating. So we had to create our own JavaScript engine. But as a nice side of it, we've been able to take, first of all, the JavaScript engine is fully integrated into Qt and designed for Qt. So it's really fast with Qt data types. Then secondly, we've been able to take that project much further and introduce Qt Quick Compiler, for instance, and also improve the performance on Qt Quick side enormously. So how these are integrated, the Android and iOS ones. The Android is the Android apps are running on a single activity. So one of the items we quite often get asked from Android developers is that, can I do multiple activities on Android? Well, we're thinking about solutions for this, but basically the Qt apps run on a single activity. So if you go and dig into the Qt source codes, you can actually find Java code that creates a Qt application object and kind of starts a new thread and runs the virtual machine. Then what we do use ourselves and what we also provide externally is the JNI, the Java Native Interface, which allows you to use directly native code from C++. So if there's something that's missing from Qt APIs, for instance, push notifications, you basically need to write Android code for doing that. Well, that's not a big problem. We provide the Android Extras module that provides these couple of convenience classes for writing and mixing native Android code with Qt code. So that's basically through the Android Extras. That's how you interface Android. On iOS side, it's based on Cocoa's model view controller framework, and it's using the UI kit underneath. I don't really know much about internals of iOS development. I've tried some Objective-C, but that was just so horrible that I luckily managed to wipe all that out from my memory in the past 3 years. But luckily, I don't need to do that. I can just write Qt apps and have some friend of mine with an OS X compile it to an iPad. I don't even have an OS X computer. Anyway, on native access on iOS is also rather straightforward. You can just write, if you use a file suffix .mm, you can just directly write Objective-C there. And if you're making a cross-platform application, which obviously you are with Qt, then you need to do some tricks inside the Qt application to kind of isolate these native parts. Well, there are a few ways of doing that. The most brutal way is to use just if-defs inside the code file, like what are these code block is for Android, this is for iOS. But you can also do tricks in the PRO file, in your project definition file, to use different source files for different implementations. If you want to do it like we do, you can use the pimple pattern and use private implementation with private classes. But you can check the Qt source codes for tricks on how to do that. But usually that's slightly overkill. Okay, what are we going to do for Android and iOS? First of all, one of the big items that people have been asking for these 2 years is native look and feel. So I would say our widgets for mobile are Qt Quick Controls. We'll talk about them soon too. But they haven't really had native look and feel for other platforms than desktop. We're introducing a new style for embedded with the following versions. And that's kind of like a default, nice-looking, fresh style for embedded. You could also use it on other platforms. But with 5.4, Qt 5.4, we're going to have native look and feel for Android as well. And for 5.5, we are working for iOS. So, I mean, it's not guaranteed that it will make it to 5.5, but both of these projects are under works, and they should be there. However, it's been already 2 years, and people have been just fine with it. There are some use cases where you really want to use native look and feel, especially on iOS. If you, the competition in App Store is quite brutal, and if you want to get on the featured list, it's quite impossible if you're not using iOS look and feel. So that's a pretty legit reason for using a native look and feel. But for instance, like the Developer Days app we've done, or if you've seen the old mobile demos, the Quick Forecast, for instance, they're not using any native style. They look good, they look fresh, they look like mobile apps, and they're just using Qt Quick Controls with customized styles. So That's usually the easiest approach. We're also we've had some issues with, for instance, text input, or text selection. So we've been fixing these kind of input things, text selection items, bit by bit, and they'll be improved. Maybe a bigger item that we're introducing is the Crossplatform Web View. So since far we've not had Qt WebKit, nor will we have Qt Web Engine on mobile platforms. Basically because on iOS it's not possible, and it's usually a lot of overhead too. So what we're doing is we've created a Web View API. It's basically the similar kind of element than was already backed with WebKit, a Web View, to show HTML5 documents or web documents in general. Not to do any heavy things with a browser engine, but just to show dynamic content from the web. And the idea is that it's an API, and underneath on Android it's using the Chromium, and then on iOS it's using Safari. So it's basically just using the native browser there. So it's very lightweight. You don't get the extra 10 megabytes of overhead that you will get with WebKit or Web Engine. And it also adds to the native look and feel because it's using the native browser directly. On other platforms, we'll be doing this for Windows as well. So it'll be using Internet Explorer on desktop. On iOS, it's using Safari on desktop too. But then on platforms, for instance, on embedded platforms and on Linux, it's actually falling back to Qt Web Engine. So underneath, in the platforms where we don't have a convenient browser API, it'll use our own browser engine, the Qt Web Engine. So eventually, when all this is done for all platforms, you should be having a lightweight way of showing dynamic contents on your UI. And then it's either using the native one or Qt Web Engine. All right, Qt for Windows Store apps. Now, since far, this has been called Qt for WinRT, or Windows Runtime. So Microsoft has moved into calling WinRT into just Windows Store apps, and that's probably what we'll officially do at some point. We're already unofficially moving there. So what Windows Store apps include is basically Windows Phone, but not only that, but also WinRT tablets, so all Microsoft tablets, and then Windows 8 PCs on the modern UI side, which was previously called Metro. So on Windows 8, you can run traditional desktop apps in the classic mode. I think they're called Windows Classic app nowadays by Microsoft. And Qt has worked there since day one of Windows 8. It's basically the same than Windows 7 as an operating system for developers. But then you also have the apps that you can purchase from the store, and that give you the live tiles and are kind of providing a unified look and feel on tablets and desktops. Those are the modern UI apps, and those run on a more restricted set of APIs called the WinRT, and that's where Qt now runs too. This is going to be fully supported on Qt 5.4. It was already in beta in 5.3. So with 5.4 we're introducing new modules like geo-positioning, so you can even access GPS, Qt Quick Controls and Enterprise Controls, and Genio data storage, Qt Quick Compiler, multimedia. All these are supported with 5.4. With 5.5, we'll be introducing then maybe native look and feel, or maybe that's coming later, support for Bluetooth and Bluetooth LE. Let's see, and also probably the purchasing API might make it too. Now, not a lot of people, especially globally, use Windows Phone, but this is a good kind of platform for future. I think in general, my understanding is that, I mean, from experience we can tell that dynamics in mobile markets change a lot. No one really knows what are going to be the big players in 2 years or 3 years. And what Microsoft did with their Windows 10 announcements last week is basically they said that they're going to be running the same operating system on Windows phones, on all their, well, not Windows phones, but on their phones, tablets, and PCs. And Qt runs there. We've done our initial tests, and Qt already runs on Windows 10 quite nicely. So in the future, if you're doing anything for Microsoft, maybe the Windows Store and running Qt on top of that is not only a desktop thing or a mobile thing, but it's like a cross-platform within the Microsoft world too. Okay, then BlackBerry 10 is still supported. So BlackBerry 10 in general has multiple developer offerings, and the native one is Qt. But if you're doing Qt applications for BlackBerry, the regular ones would run there as is, but they also provide their own kind of a fork or side project of QML called the Cascades UI. So the UI part is something you might need to rewrite. It's rather similar, but still different. Selfies. How many of you have heard of Selfies or Yolla? Okay, not that many. So this is a spin-off from the old Nokia Migo. So the Migo guys basically ramped up their own startup a few years ago, and they made the Yolla phone. And their actual product is not the phone, but the operating system called Selfies. Let's see what comes out of it. I mean, I have the phone. It's a nice operating system. But anyway, their phone is fully Qt-based. So the whole graphic stack is based on Qt, all the applications there. And they have a very vibrant ecosystem of open source developers doing things with Qt. However, they're not using regular Qt Quick either, but they have their own look and feel components called Silica UI, because they have a different kind of a user experience in general. For instance, their menus are like these pulley menus, and they behave quite differently than on other platforms. They provide these covers for the desktop that are actually live applications and these kinds of things. Okay, so that's pretty much it about status. Let's look at the larger picture of what does this actually enable. This is a slide I took from Tommy's keynote last year. How many of you were in 2013 Dev Days? Okay, yeah. Nice to see that there are a lot of folks who were not here last year. Not because last year would have sucked, but because it's good to see new faces. Well, anyway, so Tommy was talking about opportunities around Qt and where do we want to expand the ecosystem, and it's kind of well, our graphic designer made the picture, so the point is that it's like a Foursquare stuff. So here, indie developers, large enterprises, here's desktop, and over there's mobile. Currently, our user base is very much spread around here on desktop side between indie and large enterprises. And with the mobile platforms, we're moving more to that direction. And embedded is, of course, part here. It's more for enterprises. Internet of Things is related to that. We have enterprise mobility, mobile OS market, consumer apps, multi-screen applications. So there are a lot of these market trends or business areas or use cases where Qt is now expanding because of the mobile ports. And that's what we'll look now. So the obvious choice or just the starter is cross-platform mobile consumer apps. Yeah, if you want to do mobile apps, this is, and you're a Qt developer, it's a very natural tool to take. You can target the whole market at once, so Android, iOS, and Windows Store, phones and tablets, all different versions of Android. You don't need to select your priorities, which one to target first. Or if you have multiple guys, you don't need to have one guy working for Android and the other one for iOS. And then when you fix a bug, you need to somehow magically sync between the platforms. This is really cool. However, the mobile market is very competitive. It's very full. There are a lot of toolkits that are made just for mobile developers. I mean, there were, I'll show you a bit of statistics. There was this cross-platform toolkit research done by Research to Guidance. Lars showed some of these, but I'll show you a couple of more. So, in comparison to other kinds of cross-platform tools, especially from mobile side, Qt actually performed extraordinarily well in all categories, but it excelled in like became number first in couple or few. One of them is top 10 cost performance ratio. So Qt was, besides app quality, Qt was also perceived as the kind of a cost to performance. You get a lot of value for your money. Also, what I liked about this was that top 10 user cross-platform tools that user groups are most willing to recommend to others. So 100% of the people who took this survey were willing to recommend Qt to others, and that's really something that's quite unique to, well, not unique, but something we really hold dear, is that our users really love the product. It's like when you get into Qt development, you kind of that becomes more or less your tool, and people really like working with Qt. But now, even though these look great, it's very difficult to go to people who've never worked with C++, that are just mobile developers, maybe even web developers, and to sell them a C++ tool that, hey, you should do your mobile apps with Qt. I mean, yeah, we have the Indie Mobile license, and we've done some efforts in going into these markets as well, but this is not like Qt fits here well, but this is not where Qt is extraordinary. I think I would use Qt, but I understand why some people don't use Qt there too. But what makes Qt unique is that it's not just mobile. But where we kind of stand out as a technology is when you combine mobile with anything else. If you're doing a desktop app and you want to go to mobile, or if you're doing embedded devices with mobile clients, that's really where you don't have, I don't know if you even have any other options than Qt if you just want to stick with one technology. Usually the discussions we have with customers are more around like that they were thinking of having a separate team of Android developers making an Android client using the native tool. So we're actually competing against writing native apps. Well, in the case if someone is just targeting Android, yeah, that's okay. I mean, sure, we're using native Android APIs ourselves too for Qt. Let's start with enterprise mobility. Look at a bit of the use cases on combining desktop with mobile. So I met a lot of business directors and CTOs, and they always talk about going mobile, and we need a mobile strategy. And we're in creation of mobile strategy for our product, and usually the indication is more like, well, we have this desktop product, but I guess we should do something on mobile too. Okay, if they've used Qt already, it's really easy for them to just take the extra leap and do something on Android and or iOS as well. If they've not used Qt, that's fine too. If their options are, for instance, writing completely new applications anyway, they might just well do it with Qt and then maybe migrate on the desktop side to Qt as well. However, what makes migration difficult is that even though your code will run there, the Qt widgets are not really recommended for mobile, whereas most of desktop apps are made with Qt widgets. Now, there are several different approaches here. Of course, you can take your Qt widget app and just run it on mobile, or you can write a different layout for the mobile version using Qt widgets, and then just customize the Qt widgets. That's fine. We've done that. We have a lot of customers who are doing embedded devices with Qt widgets, and those UIs look really nice and fresh too. So you can do it if you like Q styles and style sheets. But what's really lacking from widgets are more like not just the decoration stuff, but UI concepts. You don't have a concept of a view. It's quite difficult to use stack widget to make some sort of a stack navigation for your mobile app. And then if you think of combining that with some swipe gestures or nice transition animations, you find yourself doing a lot of extra work. So Qt Quick is really the recommended UI for doing mobile apps. I mean, that's it. So what you can do is, if you have a clear separation of your kind of engine parts and UI parts, which quite often with widgets you don't have, but if you would have that, then it's rather easy to write a separate Qt Quick UI for just using the same engine. And maybe you need to do a bit of refactoring to get into this situation, but that certainly is the case. Well, while you're at it, if your application is not really, I mean, if it's rather simple UI-wise, maybe you want to consider using Qt Quick for all the platforms. I mean, at the same time, when people are creating mobile apps for their desktop services or expanding there, there's also a trend of kind of a freshening the desktop look and feel too. A lot of desktop apps don't look like traditional Windows apps anymore, but actually have, depending on use case, they can actually look more like mobile apps or things that you would run on a tablet. So how to do this? What sort of things help you in migration to Qt Quick? Well, first of all, the Qt Quick controls. The Qt Quick controls are, they work like Qt widgets on desktop. There are a couple of items missing. For instance, the infamous tree view. But that is still under works, and it is going to be available, hopefully, with Qt 5.5. But now I know that someone is working and has been working with the tree view. There's just something very magical about the component. But besides tree view, there are no other. I mean, we've been adding things to Qt Quick controls already quite much since the first releases. So if you haven't checked them out for desktop in a year, maybe you wanna do a reassessment whether it would fit your needs today. Also, you don't need to use just Qt Quick controls. You can mix them with Qt Quick in general and create your own controls, and you can customize the existing controls to all your liking. What we've done in a couple of projects is that we've had an old widget-based UI, and basically then we've decided that all the new things would be written with Qt Quick. We've made the migration easier with past Qt versions. You can mix and match them. So with Qt Quick widget, you can actually run Qt Quick content inside a widget, so that you can have rest of the UI still made with Qt widgets, but then for some custom part, you can use Qt Quick controls, and it can even actually, the end user won't necessarily even know the difference. Well, it depends how you code it, but it shouldn't know the difference. Or if you have some you want to use some OpenGL shaders there or some bit of eye candy or flare, you might want to do those parts with QtQuick controls or QtQuick widget. So you can migrate gradually. You don't need to take your massive desktop application and start from the scratch. Sometimes that's a good option too. QOpenGL widget is now being added to Qt 5.4, and that one kind of fixes the last gap that we had with Qt 4 and Qt 5, the possibility to fluently include OpenGL into your Qt code. One application that or one company that has done this quite successfully is MusicOr. So I don't know if you've been to the Qt showroom. It's inside the Qt project pages. You can submit your own apps there just to showcase what sort of things have people done with Qt. So what MusicOr have done is that they have this traditional desktop application for creating music scores. And if you think about the context, it actually makes a lot of sense to provide a player for tablets for those scores. So what they did is that they didn't take the same application as is, but they wrote additional service for their application for mobile. And that looks really fresh. It works really well. It's on different application stores on all the platforms. So I think they were very happy. I think they did this with Qt 5.2 already, and they were very happy with the results. Okay, a bit heavier use case. Let's say there's an enterprise system on like a desktop enterprise ERP system, for instance, and you're possibly even using some alternative publishing framework like MS SharePoint, and that provides a browser interface. We have quite a lot of these use cases in the actual Digia side. So we work for Qt Company, but then the rest of Digia, or today not the rest of, but the Digia, what it does is that it actually works a lot with ERP systems and all that enterprise stuff. So we've had a lot of common customer cases where CTOs have found out that, hey, we should go mobile as well. And we have this huge, expensive SharePoint system, and all our infrastructure is built using some ERP. We're locked down here. So what can we do? Well, of course, their first choice is that, let's pick Android or iOS and do an app for that, or let's do HTML5. So what we've done is we've actually created Qt clients, like just a single standalone Qt application, and then made it interface to the ERP system. I mean, there's nothing really that magical there. At least what it provides is that if it has some sort of a browser interface, usually there's a REST API that you can use. And you can call any REST APIs from Qt and QtQuick easily. So integrating into other systems that are not made with Qt is easy. Well, of course, at the same time, we might discuss that are there some parts in your actual system that could benefit of Qt, but this is like the kind of a minimal thing to doing just a mobile client for an existing enterprise system. One customer had kind of a combination of this and the Qt system. They already had it's actually a hardware store. They had a set of devices running WinCE, like old rugged devices, all around in their warehouses. And the guys working in their warehouses had to have those rugged PDA or handheld devices. But then on the other hand, they were running the same applications related to inventory and checking out stuff than the sales personnel inside the store. And the salespeople, even though in a hardware store, did not want to use these rugged devices. And what they were thinking is that it would be cool if those salespeople could use, for instance, their own phones, or if not that, then at least some proprietary tablets or something. Or we could just go and buy iPads and put applications there. So for them, what we ended up suggesting was that the Qt happens to run on WinCE 2. Okay, that actually put a bit of limitations on what can you run there, but we could reuse some of the code on the old WinCE devices too. But then the same application and kind of at the same common parts of the application could be used for the bring your own devices as well. We would just then make a fresher UI using Qt Quick. And then at the same time, by kind of doing a modified subset of the internal app, we could provide an external consumer app, because their vision was that people who visit hardware stores are going to definitely download a mobile app for their shop visit. Well, they kind of got it half free with all the other things, so I hope that's a successful thing. Anyway, but these are the kind of things where Qt fits really nicely. That's doing bring your own device and combining that with embedded handheld devices. Let's talk a bit about Internet of Things. So, if you go to Wikipedia and look for what is the Internet of Things, you'll get a huge wall of text, and it kind of focuses a lot on what's here: machine-to-machine communications, protocols, domains, and applications. It's quite heavy to get a grasp on what the heck is this stuff. However, it's nice that it says that Internet of Things or interconnection of these devices is expected to usher in automation in nearly all fields, and so it's obviously something revolutionizing. Let's start with some use cases. This will kind of clarify the concept way better. So what the Internet of Things is about, it's about having devices and smart sensors connected to each other and to the internet, and then accessible anywhere using mobile or desktop clients or any arbitrary clients. That we'd have the smart connected world of systems. So there are already now a lot of nice applications for this on consumer electronics, smart TVs, remote controllers, auxiliary displays, wall thermostats. On automotive, you can have auxiliary displays, or you can have completely headless devices that you service through a mobile device. Mobile health is something rather interesting, or mHealth, that the healthcare systems would have, like, people could have sensors at home, and then doctors could access them, and injection pumps could adjust themselves based on some sensor data they get. And smart traffic control systems, like a logistics company can see all their vehicles in real time, and then while they get live traffic data, they can reroute them in different routes and so forth. So this is all very cool. I like that we are living in the future with some of the applications we have already today. But when you go to a tech conference, especially an embedded conference, they're all about Internet of Things, and I don't think they really see the forest for the trees. It's all about Wi-Fi coverage, cellular networks, RFID, Bluetooth LE, M2M protocols, low energy consumptions, security. I mean, these are definitely very important things for people doing hardware. But looking at this from software perspective kind of makes me want to scream that how the heck are we supposed to write software to handle all the data coming in from all around the world, from zillions of devices? How are we supposed to create this kind of a network of extendable, arbitrary embedded devices and mobile devices? And I think that these are very good questions. Goldman Sachs made a report on Internet of Things, and it also touches a bit on the topic of software, the role of software on Internet of Things. And it starts by saying that the expected data growth is going to be quite exponential. So we're now in 2014, and we would have around 5,000 exabytes of data. I have no idea how much is an exabyte, but because I've never even heard of it, it must be something huge. But regardless, if we go 5 years ahead to 2019, we are in 35,000, which is 7 times more than today in 5 years. So that's a lot of data coming in. And what they say in the report is that a key enabler of the Internet of Things is the emergence of big data with capital B and D. Technologies for analytics that enable enterprises to glean insights from significantly larger data sets at less than the 1/10 at the cost of traditional database technology. So something really needs to happen for handling the data from the software perspective. And they continue by showing a graphic about investment in software. Investment in software is on the rise, signaling a shift away from hardware. Okay, this is not a projection, but this is like from 1980 to 2012, the cost of software. So as you see, it's on the rise, which is good for the software industry. And they continue by saying, as the amount of data collected by connected devices swells, we expect increased investment in analytical platforms and visualization technologies that will allow business managers to make sense of the information and react to it. Well, I think the point of Internet of Things is that you don't need the business manager to analyze the data, but the smart sensors should analyze themselves and just, take over the world from business managers. But anyway, the point is that there's a growing increase in the requirements of software. So what they say there is that success factors for Internet of Things software vendors is, first of all, managing the communication of the devices. Good. Providing middleware for integration to data repositories. Okay. Storing and securing the data, and analyzing and visualizing the data. All right, makes sense. But from my opinion, I think the real problems are not even that kind of advanced, but problems for creating an Internet of Things system from software perspective start from the fact that you still need to make an embedded device, or heck of a lot of embedded devices, and that's never been fun. It takes an awful lot of time to create embedded devices from software perspective too. And then you need to create some sort of an extendable architecture for a system of embedded devices, because the point is that it needs to be sort of a future-proof, and you can have all kinds of mobile devices included that you don't even know of yet. Then you need a backend for the embedded devices to hook into, even though the internet is there, but we all know that you just can't push data to internet just like that, but you need some sort of a backend to handle it. And then you need to make the devices and backend somehow reachable by all consumers, if it's that kind of a device. And then, of course, the big data or big data itself, that one brings in a lot of problems. Well, okay. Now, looking this from Qt perspective, we actually have some solutions, and these things have guided a lot of our R&D work on embedded and mobile side. So for us, Well, like Lars said, we focused a lot on the we have focused a lot on development part, but especially on device creation and connected device creation part, we've put in more focus on the workflow. So we want to provide an easy way for creating embedded devices. We have the Boot the Qt software stack that lets you immediately prototype devices. We've integrated a lot of embedded tooling to Qt Creator. It also allows you to quickly start with mobile development, so you can try out your things immediately on mobile and on embedded stuff. Well, Qt itself, as a cross-platform tool, is supposed to cover your back for future-proofing the application on future systems. Qt Cloud Services is something, is kind of a solution we want to provide for connecting the devices to each other and having a reasonable backend for them. And then making the devices and backend reachable to all consumers. Well, that's why we have all the mobile ports that you can actually reach with your service. You can reach the pocket of your end user. For big data, this is something that is not done overnight. I mean, of course, you can put in one solution is to avoid it, like the calculation on the device, and put it to cloud. We're working on those things with the application runtimes. We've created data visualization libraries, and what we worked a lot too is kind of a preparing and testing out our libraries with used data sets. We have a lot of those use cases already today where you just need to have a big amount of data handled by Qt libraries. Let's talk a few words more about Qt Cloud Services. So, what is our offering there in general to kind of take your Qt application into cloud? So, first of all, you can have huge amount of different use cases. You might just want to store content permanently. You want to provide kind of a way to sync between devices. You want to do push notifications, or just kind of take the user experience from one device to other. You will need a cloud. The first thing we introduced a few years ago was Ngineo data storage. And that's a simple cloud storage where you can put JSON objects from Qt. Qt 5 supports JSON natively. So it's actually rather straightforward to put in your whole object model into the cloud and load it there either with C++ or QML APIs. The managed WebSockets is something we introduced with Qt 5.3 with the WebSockets API. So what WebSockets give you is real-time bidirectional communication channel between two ends. It's basically an RFC, the WebSocket. But what managed WebSockets give you is the possibility to have kind of a server-to-client connection, not just client-to-client, but you can have one server that deals with multiple clients and broadcasts data for them. The latest thing is to manage runtime, so you can actually put your Qt applications to the cloud. Not like that you could write the browser UI using Qt, but doing the backend stuff and deploying it directly to the Qt cloud. You can actually do this within Qt Creator, so you'll just use your local version control system, and it will deploy the application to the cloud and run it there. Okay, let's check how do you then get started. So how do you take your software into mobile? The Android one is probably the easiest one because you can do this from any platform, Windows, Linux, or Mac. What you need to do is you need to install the native toolkits first. So you need to have an Android NDK, an Android SDK, and then you need to configure your Qt Creator. So I think easiest way is that when you install Qt for Android, you go to Qt Creator's Tools and Options, and here you can actually see a tab for Android, and basically you need to locate that Java Development Kit, Android SDK, Android NDK, and your Ant executable. If you do not have these yet, then you can just directly click here to download the relevant native tools. After this, Qt Creator will actually configure the required kits for your Android builds. And after that, whenever you're doing projects, you can just configure your project to the created Android kits. When you want to deploy, you select the different kit, you press play. It will ask you your device. So my device is connected with USB. What I've also had to do is I've had to enable the developer mode from the phone. You can Google how to do that for your phone, but usually you need to go tap your version number something like 7 times, and then it's in developer mode. So it'll ask me which device I want to deploy. I press OK, and now underneath is actually, now it's building this for Android. It's deploying the package and pushing it to the phone and running it here, and I can debug it here. So we really tried to make this as simple as possible. And I think we are even in the middle of kind of creating a wizard for installing all the required platform tools. Okay, let's take this out from here. Hold on, I'm lost here with the 2 different displays. On iOS, it's in a way even more simpler because you don't even need to configure Qt Creator. You'll just need to have Xcode and Xcode command lines installed, and your Qt Creator will, when you install Qt for iOS, Qt Creator will know how to use them automatically. But what you also need to have is for the device, you need to have an Apple Developer ID. You need to register the device, and then you need to configure your developer distribution provisioning profile. So you basically need to do all the stuff that you need to do for iOS development in general. Not to mention that you need to have an OS X computer. So that's why I can't really show you the stuff. But after that, it's really as simple as that. For deployment and publishing, for Android, you can, from Qt Creator, you can actually select your different deployment configurations. So you can use Ministro, which is the original Qt for Android port, where Ministro is an external app that loads the Qt libraries for your phone. You can bundle it inside the app, or then I think you can also provide them separately. But you can configure this from Qt Creator. Then you will get the APK packets, and you can sign it. In Qt Creator, you can define how to sign it with your credentials, and then you'll just submit it to Android Store. It's very straightforward using their web tools. For iOS, you can do most of the stuff in Qt Creator, but you need to go to Xcode to open the project there that's created by Qt Creator, and inside Xcode you need to set version number, icons, and orientation to get the packets, and then using iTunes Connect, you'll submit the packets. So on iOS, you still need to go to Xcode, but you don't really need to code anything there. You just need to kind of create the packets, and then you're ready to go. For Windows Store, you need Visual Studio 2013. Why not older? Because Microsoft themselves don't support older ones for Windows Phone. You'll need Windows 8. That's another obstacle. For instance, I can't do that development here. But you'll need a Windows 8.1 computer. and you install Qt for WinRT, and after that you can do most of the stuff from Qt Creator. But if you want to do debugging on the phone, you need to do that from Visual Studio. And I know that Andrew Knight, who has kind of made a big part of the port, he still likes to do a lot of things inside Visual Studio as well. He's so used to Visual Studio, so he goes back and forth with the two tools. Anyway, either one you use and you create the package, you can directly submit that to the Windows Store using their web interface. So there's really nothing additional there. All right, we've reached 59 minutes. Any quick questions at this one, or longer questions? Quite of a combination of everything. Like a nice wrap for the whole event.
You said you try Qt on Windows 10 pre-release, or I don't know what the stage is. Did you try Qt for WinRT or just general desktop Qt for Windows?
A good question. Yeah, I didn't mention that. Both. The general Qt runs there as is, normally, no problems. But Qt on WinRT, that was the one I was referring, that even that runs there nicely. So what Microsoft is doing is that they'll have the same OS running on phones, tablets, and PCs, and basically the Qt we have today will cover all those.
So I guess that WinRT applications will work anyway, but just the classical applications will work only on Windows 10 desktop.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think they're gonna extend that to other platforms. But yeah. So as with your Qt application, you will be.
So perfect. That's reasonable to choose Qt for WinRT now.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I mean, you'll get into new markets. Anything else? Or should we wrap it up? You can talk to me later as well. All right. Thanks for joining us.